Alright, so this is the path of Go. Now this is going to be a series that I'm going to keep doing for most games. I originally intended to start it on the other arcade title, Counter-Strike uh, Global Offensive, also having Go in the title, ironically. But I had messed up the audio on that one, so I decided to just throw that one out with an audio mashup on it for music, as opposed to what I wanted to do, which is this, which is sort of voice over the game and give you a layout of the features and things like that. Now, what you're looking at here is a arcade title through Xbox that is kind of dear to my heart. I loved the board game, and now I get to enjoy it on the Xbox. It's actually called Go. It's as simple as that. It's a Japanese style board game, very much in the sense of strategy, like chess is, or any of those style board games. And it gives you a sense of competition that you don't get out of a lot of board games. And it transitions well to the Xbox. Now what you're looking at here on screen is the basic setup for the arcade style. Now I'm just doing an exhibition match. Now you can see there's 3 different boards on there. What I'm going to be playing on is the baby board, because I'm actually terrible at this game, despite having love for it, is the 9x9 board. And I'll explain what that means once we're in game. But you can see it goes up to a larger style board of 18 by 18, which those games can last for a very long time, well into the hours range. Again, longer than the norm for board games. But the level of strategy is so complex in some of these games. Go is widely considered to be the highest regarded strategy board game in the world, just because of that. Again, there's some people who prefer chess and things like that. I'm sort of in the middle for all of them. I just love the element of strategy in a board game. Alright, so now we've jumped into the actual board game itself. And what it's going to look like from your perspective is that we're just laying down a bunch of random pieces, which, to be honest, in essence, it's kind of what happened here, because I wanted to get the video across quick, and I definitely wasn't playing at my highest, but I'm definitely still a novice here, and even the novice computers in this game are very good. However, one of the great things about it is the tutorials are very, very thorough. They give you challenges that help you prepare. They build up your skill level faster than just trying to learn the basic board game on its own, which is what I tried at first. And believe me, it was grateful to have this resource available to me. Now, the object of Go is not like most board games where it's, oh, capture your enemy's pieces or knock them out in some way. It's not the way this one goes. Go is designed as a territory capture game, which what that is essentially the territories that your pieces are connected to are considered yours. And you'll see, I'll pull up the territories here in a couple minutes just to give you an idea. By hitting right here, you'll see it. Now you'll see that I have 5, he has 6. That's based off the lines connected, and in the end, it's determined by your overall territory count, and that's what determines the winner. Now there's a couple of other handicap rules which are standard in the game. They're a little bit more complex to explain. There's a lot to the game of Go in terms of rules and regulations and things like that, which again, I don't want to take time to explain every single one of them in here. But the game, if you do go for it, does offer some of the most complex and thorough tutorials that are out there. But they do make it fun by giving you challenges that let you think. They're basically simple to go through. That does take some time to learn. Like I said, this is not a simple board game like checkers. It's got some weight to it in terms of what's there. But it's one of the reasons I love the game too, is because all of those elements are there. And I'm still bad at it too, which is great. I keep spending time on it constantly. Whenever I get some time, I drop in and I play this game, because it makes me think. It really does. Now this game is different from the norm, again, because I move through it very fast. Normally I take a little bit longer to think about my moves, because again, I'm a novice, so in terms of how these games normally go, players normally take a lot of time to think, because they're planning well above in terms of moves. Now in the 9x9 board, that's not really the case, but for the larger, especially 18 by 18, games last typically into the well over the 8-hour range, which is kind of crazy for a board game, but it's just one of those things that give Go that edge over other board games. If you really want that immersive element and if your most important thing is strategy, you're gonna get a lot of joy out of this game. Now the game itself is only 400 points through the Xbox Live Arcade, which is a steal if you ask me. But that's, again, I was a proponent of the game before I downloaded the arcade title, so I was a little biased. However, at the very least, I'd recommend downloading the trial just to check it out a little bit, to get yourself acclimated with the game, see how it feels. It might not be for you. But if you have any questions about it, or anything like that, or if you do get it and you want someone to play with, I'm always available. This game, unfortunately, it is a niche market on the Xbox Live, which means it's got a very high rating in terms of what it is, but very few downloads because not many people actually have the game. The online play for it is available. It is an option. However, typically the matchmaking takes a very long time because there are very few players playing the game at the same time as you, because like I said, there's few downloads. And that's not to say you don't get the occasional match here and there, but it's much more for the single player element that you would have to get the game, or if you had online friends who you were dedicated with play the game with you, like me or anybody else you might meet in the game. So it's again, it's not an expensive title to download, and it'll definitely make you think. I mean, what I typically do, it helps me relax a little bit. I play some music in the background, sit down, and if you're just looking to kill a little bit of time, playing a game just to relax, this is definitely one of the top titles for that. In terms of playability, the game is very smooth. There's no lag issues. There's no online connectivity issues. It's so simple and elegant in how it plays. Like you'll see, the pieces flow to the board real nice. The board styles and things like that will change. So there's a little bit of the creativity element there, changing up based on everything that's available to you. I'm in a fish world right now. We're surrounded by ponds on whatever those things are, but they change dramatically as you go through the single player campaign. You'll unlock more, but that's just some of the things that makes the Grain Gate. Now again, this is going to be sort of like the initial run for the TGC series. Which there's going to be much more games for it in the future. But I wanted to give it a test run with this, with the overall audio, because like I said, the first one failed pretty miserably. So I mean, let me know what you think. At the very least, it's something that I wanted to get some feedback on, to know how I'm doing. I'm getting a little bit better in the editing programs that I'm using, things like that. Now, just real quick, I want to jump back in here. This is the end of the game here. I chose to pass because I realized that I couldn't win. Okay, so that's why I passed, and he accepted the pass, so the game now ends. As you can see, he won by a significant margin because, again, I'm terrible. But yeah, if you have any questions about the series or this game, feel free to contact me. I'm always available. So again, thanks for sticking around, and this is The Path of Go.